What is up, book nerds? My name is Hillary and welcome back to my channel. Today I am bringing you a decent sized book haul of books that I have been collecting the past month or so and just forgot to get around to filming a book haul for you. So let's get right on into this video and see what books I got. So the first stack of books here are the six books that I got from Book of the Month these past 2 months. So we're going to start with the ones I got in May. And the one I chose for my Book of the Month pick was Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. This one says, after a wild bet, gourmet grilled cheese sandwich, and cuddle with a baby goat, Alexis Montgomery has had her world turned upside down. The cause, Daniel Grant, a ridiculously hot carpenter who's 10 years younger than her and as casual as they come, the complete opposite of sophisticated city girl Alexis, and yet their chemistry is undeniable. While her ultra-wealthy parents want her to carry on the family legacy of world-renowned surgeons, Alexis doesn't need glory or fame. She's fine with being a more ER doctor, and every minute she spends with Daniel and the tight-knit town where he lives, she's discovering just what's really important. Letting their relationship become anything more than a short-term fling would mean turning her back on her family and giving up the opportunity to help thousands of people. Bringing Daniel into her world is impossible, and yet she can't just give up the joy she's found with him either. With so many differences between them, how can Alexis possibly choose between her world and his? This one sounds like a cute story. I love getting some romance from Book of the Month because it helps me break apart my fantasy and thriller books that I love to read. But this one just seems like a fun read, and I'm hoping to get to it soon, maybe this summer, because it seems more of like a summery read. The next book that I got from Book of the Month was an add-on, and that book is Behind Her Eyes by Sarah Pinborough. This one is a thriller. I think it's a show on Netflix now too, but I'm not positive. But all it says is a little blurb. Why is everyone talking about the ending of Behind Her Eyes? That's all I really want to know going into this book, because I don't want knowing a lot about thriller books before reading it, because that can give away a whole bunch of the story. And then the book that I also got from May was a brand new book that just came out, and I'm so excited for this. I keep hearing mixed reviews about it, but I can't wait to read it, and that is Book of Night by Holly Black. This is her new adult fantasy novel, and the back of it says, even your shadow can be stolen, which just sounds amazing. But it's the inside says, she spent half her life working for glomists, magicians who manipulate shadows to peer into locked rooms, strangle people in their beds, or worse. Glomists guard their secrets greedily, creating an underground economy of grimoires, and to rob their fellow magicians, they need Charlie Hall. Now she's trying to distance herself from past mistakes, but bartending at a local dive, she's still entirely too close to the corrupt underbelly of the Berkshires, not to mention that her sister Posey is desperate for magic, and that Charlie's shadowless and possibly soulless boyfriend Vince has been hiding things from her. When a terrible figure from her past returns, Charlie descends into a maelstrom of murder and lies. Determined to survive, she's up against a cast of doppelgangers, mercurial billionaires, glomists, and the people she loves best in the world, all trying to steal a secret that will give them a vast and terrible power. This sounds so good, and like I said, I'm very excited to read this book. I read her Cruel Prince trilogy and enjoyed it. It wasn't my favorite, but I'm hoping to really enjoy this book. And then the 3 books that I got for the month of June were, the first one is Siren Queen by Nikki Vo. This one is a fantasy book, and I think it has some LGBTQ rep in it, and it says a little bit, it was magic in every world, it was a kind of magic. So I don't want to know a lot going into this fantasy read because it is short and I just want to be surprised with reading it, but it sounds really good and it has sirens in it, so I think it's going to be a great read. The thriller pick that I got, which I believe this was my book of the month pick that I used for my credit, was Things We Do in the Dark by Jennifer Hillier. I have another book by her that I have not read yet, but maybe I'll do a little reading vlog for both of them. And this says on the inside, when Paris Peralta is arrested in her own bathroom, covered in blood, holding a straight razor, her celebrity husband dead in the bathtub behind her, she knows she'll be charged with murder. But as bad as this book looks, that's not what worries her the most. With the unwanted media attention now surrounding her, it's only a matter of time before someone from her long-hidden past recognizes her and destroys the new life she's worked so hard to build, along with any chance of a future. 25 years earlier, Ruby Reyes, known as the Ice Queen, was convicted of a similar murder in a trial that was a media sensation and riveted the nation. Reyes knows who Paris really is, and when Reyes is unexpectedly granted an early release from prison, she threatens to expose all of Paris's secrets. Left with no other choice, Paris must finally, once and for all, confront the dark past she thought she had escaped. Because the only thing worse than murder charge is the dark personal history that Paris will do anything to keep hidden. That sounds crazy, and I am really excited to read this one, and I think this cover is really pretty with the blues and the yellow of the lettering. And the last pick that I did for this month was, I think it's a romance, but it's called The Lifestyle by Taylor Hahn. And a little blurb on the inside says, part glitzy Manhattan fairy tale and part loving homage to Jane Austen, The Lifestyle follows Georgina Wagman as she dives headfirst into the NYC swingers scene in an attempt to save her marriage and meddle in everyone else's. This sounds really good, and I'm excited to read this. It sounds interesting, and I can't wait to see what I think about it. But I will leave my link to Book of the Month down below. I believe if you sign up with my referral code that will be in the description down below, you will get your first book for $9.99. So go check that out, and then let me know what book you chose from Book of the Month. And then the rest of these books that I have a stack of right here came from either CVS or Walmart. So there are 13 books here, and some of them I have read and some of them I have not read. And let's get right on into this haul so you guys know what books I all got. The first one on here is one that I read last month and I really enjoyed it, but I think I'm gonna put it for sale on Pango Books, which my username will be down below in the description box if you want to go and check out the books that are on there for sale. And that book is Nowhere to Hide by Neil Pattinson. This book is 6 or 7 friends go on this hike. One ends up murdered with a shotgun, and you're trying to figure out in the book who killed who, but the ending is so twisted that I was shocked at the end, and I was just like, what the heck did I just read? And I really enjoyed it. For it being a young adult thriller, I will say it was very, very well done, and I want to pick up another book by this author and see what I think about it. And I think I have a reading vlog to reading this book, and if I do, I will link it in the eye for you guys. The next 2 books are mangas that I got from Walmart, and they are Spy Family Volume 1 and Spy Family Volume 2. These ones are about, so the first one is about this guy who is a spy, and so he brings together these people to create a family, and they all have their own strengths or powers or whatever. I haven't read these yet, but I don't know if they know that he is a spy or not. I'm not for sure, but I've heard these books are hilarious and they are so fun to read, and I want to get them all and just binge read them because they are manga, so like mangas are pretty quick reads, and I love the artwork in manga. I love the black and white, but yeah, I am very excited to read this and see what I think about it. Hopeless says, okay. Sky, a senior in high school, meets Dean Holder, a guy with a promiscuous reputation that rivals her own. From their very first encounter, he terrifies and captivates her. Something about him sparks memories of her deeply troubled past, a time she's tried so hard to bury. Though Sky is determined to stay far away from him, his unwavering pursuit and enigmatic smile break down her defenses, and the intensity of the bond between them grows. But the mysterious Holder has been keeping secrets of his own, and once they are revealed, Sky has changed forever, and her ability to trust may be casualty of the truth. I have been reading Colleen Hoover so much this year. I have been really enjoying her books. I think I've gave them either 4 or 5 star, nothing less than a 4 star, and they are, the way she tells stories can make you happy or break your heart. But yeah, I'm excited to get to these, and I'm hoping to read them this summer also, because they just feel like summer reads, and they're romance books. The next book in this stack is one that I am currently reading, and I am enjoying it so much, and that book is I Killed Zoe Spanos by Kit Frick. This is a young adult thriller about this girl named Anna who goes to nanny in this town for this family, and she's having all these visions and stuff of this girl named Zoe, who she actually really looks like. And Zoe went missing 6 months before Anna came to town, and they're trying to figure out what happened to Zoe. But in this book, you're going between present day and past, and it is so good. I am really enjoying it and would just recommend it to anybody. I'm hoping it ends really well, because if it doesn't, I'm going to be so sad that I'm going to be disappointed in it. The next book that I got is a graphic novel, and that is After by Anna Todd. This is the graphic novel to her best-selling book, and this is just volume 1. I am so excited to get to this because I absolutely loved the After books, and I can't wait to get the rest of these and find out how much they are like the book and just enjoy them. And the artwork in this is so well done that I'll give props to the artist. But After is about Tessa, who is a straight A student, is on the straight and narrow until she meets Hardin, who is a bad boy, and they start a toxic relationship. And I know a lot of people don't like the book, but it is just like a guilty pleasure for me. I love it, and I can't wait to finish the last book in the After series and to see what happens and finish the movies too. My next book in this stack is one that I have been so anticipating because I love this author, and that book is Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I have read both Emily Henry books, which were Beach Read and People We Meet on Vacation. I liked Beach Read a lot more than People We Meet on Vacation, and I know some people like, People We Meet on Vacation better than Beach Read, but I don't know, I'm hoping this one's really good. I've heard great things about it. And this says, Nora Stevenson's life is books. She's read them all, and she is not that type of heroine. Not the plucky one, not the laid-back dream girl, and especially not the sweetheart. In fact, the only people Nora is a heroine for are her clients, for whom she leads enormous deals, are a cutthroat literary agent, and her beloved little sister Libby. Which is why she agrees to go to Sunshine Falls, North Carolina for the month of August, when Libby begs her for a sister's trip away, with visions of a small-town transformation for Nora, who she's convinced needs to become the heroine of her own story, but instead of picnics and meadows or run-ins with a handsome country doctor or bulging four-armed bartender, Nora keeps bumping into Charlie Lastra, a bookish, brooding editor from back in the city. It would be a meet cute if not for the fact that they've met many times and it's never been cute. This sounds like a fun summery read, and I'm hoping to get this read this summer and enjoy it so much. And it's a sister trip book also, and so that's going to be such a fun reading experience also. Bear with me, we're almost done. The next book I have in this stack is The Pact by Jodi Picoult. I have never read a Jodi Picoult book before, but when I saw this and I read the back, it just sounded really good to me. And it says, the Goulds and the Harts, neighbors for 18 years, have always been inseparable, so have their children, and it's no surprise that in high school, Chris and Emily's friendship blossoms into something more. And then suddenly, unimaginable tragedy strikes, threatening the bonds that had seemed so indestructible. When midnight calls from the hospital come in, no one is ready for the truth. Emily is dead at 17 from a gunshot wound to the head. There's a single unspent bullet in the gun that Chris pilfered from his father's cabinet, a bullet that Chris tells police he intended for himself, but a local detective has doubts about the suicide pact that Chris describes. This sounds really good and really sad, and I feel like it's going to be a tearjerker, but I can't wait to get to this one and see what I think about it. The next book that I got is also a Colleen Hoover book, and that is Without Merit. I don't know much about this book, but like I said, I have been reading Colleen Hoover a lot, and I'm really excited for it. But the little blurb on the back says, not every mistake deserves a consequence. Sometimes the only thing it deserves is forgiveness. I think this one's going to be a real tearjerker, and I don't want to know a lot about going into it. I don't hear a lot of people talking about this one as much as like Ugly Love or It Ends With Us. So I'm excited to get to this and not know what people think about it. The next book that I have here is one by an author I have not read before and that is Hook, Line, and Sinker by Tessa Bailey. This is a summer book as you can see. And the little blurb on the back says, in the follow-up of It Happened One Summer, Tessa Bailey delivers a deliciously fun rom-com about a former player who accidentally falls for his best friend while trying to help her land a different man. I love friend to lover tropes, especially if they're trying to help the friend date somebody else. I love those tropes, and I'm excited to read this one and see what I think about it. And I've heard nothing but great things about It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey, and I want to get that book also and read it because I heard it's kind of like reading it's kind of like Schitt's Creek but funnier, and it's a rom-com. So the next book that I got is a fantasy from Walmart, and that one is Hotel Magnifique by Emily J. Taylor, and this one is about twins, I believe, or sisters. Yeah, it's about sisters, and it's about this hotel that has magic, and that's about all I want to know going into it. I've heard great things about this. I know Lexi said that she read it, and it's very cute, and it's an easy read, but I'm excited to get to this one and to see what I think, and I love the purple on this cover. I think it's so gorgeous, and I think this might be more of an October read for me since it has magic in it. And the last book in this stack is one that just recently came out, and that book is I Kissed Shara Wheeler by Casey McQuiston. I recently read her One Last Stop book, and last year I read Red, White, and Royal Blue, and enjoyed both books. I liked her first book better than One Last Stop. But this one says on the inside, Chloe Green is so close to winning. She spent the 4 years since her mom's moved her from Southern California to Alabama for high school, dodging gossipy classmates and the puritanical administration of Willow Grove Christian Academy. The goal that's kept her going, winning valedictorian, her only rival, prom queen Shara Wheeler, and principal's perfect progeny. But a month before graduation, Shara kisses Chloe and vanishes. On a furious hunt for answers, Chloe discovers she's not the only one Shara kissed. There's also Smith, Shara's longtime quarterback sweetheart, and Rory, Shara's bad boy neighbor with a crush. The three have nothing in common except Shara and the annoyingly cryptic notes that she left behind. But together they must untangle Shara's trail for clues to find her. It'll be worth it if Chloe can drag Shara back before graduation to beat her fair and square. This sounds like a fun little high school romance book, and I believe this is Casey McQuiston's first YA book, and I'm excited to read it and to see what I think about it. And yeah, I'm just stoked for this. And like I said, I love Casey McQuiston's writing. But that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, and if you've read any of these books, leave a comment down below and let me know what you thought about them. And if you want to know when I am posting, hit that subscribe and that notification bell, and you'll be the first to know. Also, my Instagram handle, my Pango Books username, and my book of the month referral code will be down in the description box for you guys to go and check out. And until next time, keep on reading, people. Bye!